Ever wonder what secrets your garden is hiding after dark? Let's give them a reason to come out and play. Cazadoro. Genius Halloween Garden Horror Nights Ideas. Dollar Tree DIYs so scary.
Hey everyone, and welcome back, you brilliant builders of all things spooky. Are you ready to completely revolutionize your curb appeal this October? Today, we are diving headfirst into the crypt of creativity to execute the ultimate outdoor living space transformation. I'm going to show you 20 genius Halloween themes that will turn your backyard into a cinematic horror scene. And here's the best part, we're doing it all using unbelievably affordable finds from Dollar Tree. Now, before you teleport to your nearest Dollar Tree, hang tight for just a bit. You're going to want to see all of these incredible concepts first. Stick with me until the end, because that's where I'll unveil the master plan, the complete shopping list of materials, the simple tools you'll need, and the step-by-step blueprint to bring these glorious nightmares to life. Trust me, the payoff will be legendary. So get comfortable, maybe grab a snack, because we are about to unlock a crypt of creativity with over 40 distinct concepts that prove you don't need a Hollywood budget for a blockbuster scare. This is the epitome of high-end garden DIYs for less. Let's get this horror show on the road. One, forgotten cemetery. Ancestral tombstones. Alright, let's kick things off with an absolute classic that never fails to terrify, the ancestral tombstones. You are going to be floored by what a simple foam board can become with a little love and paint. We're cutting them into those iconic Gothic shapes and then applying a ridiculously easy gray and black paint wash. This technique gives you that ancient weathered stone look that feels like it's been there for centuries. Just imagine these peeking out from behind your rose bushes. It's the perfect way to begin your garden landscaping on a budget, turning your yard into a story of forgotten souls. The restless crypt. Now, if a few tombstones aren't enough and you want to really sell the story, you have to build the restless crypt. This is your A-list celebrity of the graveyard. Using a few stacked and glued foam boards, you can build a stunning crypt entrance that looks like it was pulled from an old horror film. Drape some of that creepy cloth over the opening, and for the piece de resistance, have a single Dollar Tree skeleton hand reaching out from the darkness. It's an unforgettable centerpiece that screams high-end horror. Two, spider infestation. Arachnid nesting grounds. Okay, for anyone with even a mild case of arachnophobia, this one is pure, delightful evil. Welcome to the arachnid nesting grounds. Grab every bag of giant spiderweb you can find and just go wild, stretching them between trees, fences, and all over your bushes. Then unleash the horde, dozens of plastic spiders of all sizes, tangled in the webs. It's an overwhelming, creepy-crawly spectacle that taps into a primal fear and creates maximum impact, even in a small corner of your yard. The weaver's web. If you're looking for one massive statement piece, the weaver's web is your answer. Forget the chaotic look. This is about architectural horror. We're creating one gigantic, beautifully symmetrical web using simple twine or yarn, anchored to a central point. In the middle, you place your queen, a giant spider you've crafted by combining a few smaller ones. Add some disgusting-looking egg sacs made from foam balls and webbing, and you have a terrifying masterpiece that looks way more expensive than it is. Three. Witches' Coven Gathering. The bubbling cauldron. You can't have Halloween without a little witchy business, and it all starts with the bubbling cauldron. This DIY is so simple, it's practically magic. Take a large plastic cauldron, stuff it with green or purple string lights for that supernatural glow, and top it with clear plastic ornaments to create the illusion of bubbles. Surround it with a few stakes painted to look like a roaring fire, and bam! You've created the centerpiece for a seriously spooky coven meeting, a perfect execution of garden lighting ideas for ambience. The Circle of Spells. Every cauldron needs its coven. To bring the scene to life, we're creating the Circle of Spells. Fashion some spooky life-sized witch figures by draping black plastic tablecloths over simple garden stakes and topping them with witch hats. Arrange them in a circle around your cauldron as if they're in the middle of a powerful ritual. Place some battery-operated candles at their feet for an occult, flickering light. It's an incredibly effective way to create a dynamic, story-driven scene in your yard. Four. Skeletal Awakening. The Boneyard Uprising. If you love a good zombie flick, you're going to obsess over the Boneyard Uprising. This is all about creating a moment of pure action and terror. Take those awesome Dollar Tree skeletons and plastic bones and strategically place them in your mulch beds or even your lawn so it looks like they are literally clawing their way out of the earth. The key is to pose them dynamically, some just breaking the surface, others halfway out. It's an incredible DIY garden hack that tells a story of the dead refusing to stay dead. The Climbing Dead. Why keep the horror on the ground floor? Let's take it vertical with the Climbing Dead. This is a fantastic way to utilize all your space and create some serious jump scares. Using simple zip ties, you can attach full skeletons to your fences, the walls of your house, or even have them scaling your biggest tree. Pose them in desperate, creepy climbing positions. Imagine a guest looking up and seeing a skeleton peeking into a second-story window. It's an unforgettable and terrifying touch. Five. Haunted Scarecrow Alley. The Sinister Sentinels. Forget friendly scarecrows that protect the crops. We're making sinister sentinels that haunt your dreams. This is horror on a budget at its best. Build a simple cross from garden stakes, dress it in some old tattered clothes, and for the head, use a burlap bag. Draw a terrifying, jagged face with a black marker. Make an entire army of them and line your walkway. They look like ancient, cursed guardians, and they are guaranteed to give everyone the heebie-jeebies. The pumpkin-headed horde. Let's give our scarecrows a monstrous upgrade with the pumpkin-headed horde. This is a terrifying twist that looks amazing at night. Instead of burlap, we're using Dollar Tree's foam craft pumpkins for the heads. Carve menacing demonic faces into them, no happy smiles here, and pop a single red battery-operated tea light inside each one. The result is a horde of glowing jack-o'-lantern monsters that look like they've marched straight out of a horror movie. Six. Ghostly apparitions. The floating specters. Want to create a truly ethereal and haunting vibe? The floating specters DIY is both stunningly simple and incredibly effective. All you need are white plastic tablecloths, some foam balls for the heads, and clear fishing line. Drape the cloth over the ball and hang them from tree branches. The fishing line is practically invisible at night, so they will genuinely look like they are floating and dancing in the wind. It's a beautiful, yet deeply unsettling, minimalist garden aesthetic. The graveyard shift ghosts. Now, for a more grounded and ghastly spirit, we have the graveyard shift ghosts. These ghouls look like they are literally rising from their graves. Bend a wire hanger to create a spooky shoulder and arm form, then drape it with cheesecloth or creepy cloth. A pro tip: dip the cloth in a liquid starch solution and let it dry on the form. It will become stiff and billowy, holding its shape for an extra ghostly effect. Stake them into the ground behind your tombstones for a truly chilling scene. Seven. Mad Scientist's Laboratory. The failed experiments. Let's get weird and clinical with it. Turn a corner of your yard into a mad scientist's outdoor lab with these failed experiments. This is so easy and looks so gross. I love it. Just grab a bunch of different glass jars, fill them with water and a drop of green or yellow food coloring, and then add something creepy. Think plastic eyeballs, rubbery spiders, or tiny plastic bones. Line them up on a table for a display that's both fascinating and totally stomach-turning. The toxic waste zone. Time for a modern horror theme. Create a toxic waste zone that looks like an environmental disaster. Use a plastic barrel or even just a large bucket and paint a biohazard symbol on it. Now for the fun part. Have green pool noodles or glowing green cellophane spilling out like bubbling, radioactive sludge. Scatter a few plastic rats or a skull nearby that look like they've, well, you know, melted. It's a fantastic and unique theme that touches on our modern fears. Eight. Vampire's Den. The Blood Rose Garden. This one is for all the gothic romance and horror fans out there. It's called the Blood Rose Garden, and it is beautifully disturbing. Pick up some bunches of those faux white roses from the craft aisle. Then, using red paint, get your splatter on. Drip and flick the paint onto the petals so they look like they are covered in fresh blood. Plant them in a dedicated flower bed. It's a stunningly artistic and macabre display that represents corrupted beauty. A perfect low-maintenance garden design with a dark twist. The Bat Colony. You can't have vampires without bats. Create a terrifying swarm with the Bat Colony. Buy several packs of those simple plastic bat decorations. Using clear fishing line of varying lengths, hang dozens and dozens of them from a large tree branch. It'll look like a massive colony is swarming out into the night. To really make it pop, aim a single spotlight up at them from the ground. The effect is dramatic, creepy, and an absolute classic for a reason. Nine. Zombie Apocalypse Containment Zone. The Quarantine Fence. Let's bring the horror of a zombie apocalypse to the suburbs with the Quarantine Fence. This is all about setting a scene and telling a story. Use some simple garden stakes and long strips of that yellow caution or danger tape to create a cordoned-off, contaminated area. The final touch? Have a few dismembered zombie arms reaching over or through the tape. It's a theme that feels incredibly current and plays on those deep-seated fears of societal collapse. The Horde's Advance. Here's a fantastic DIY garden decor for small spaces that packs a huge punch, the Horde's Advance. We're creating the illusion of a full-blown zombie horde without needing a ton of skeletons. Cut a foam tombstone in half. To the top half, hot glue a plastic skull and a pair of skeleton arms. When you stake it in the ground, it looks like a zombie is literally crawling its way out of the earth. Make 5 or 6 of them, and you've got an instant, unstoppable horde. Alien invasion site. The crashed UFO. Let's move from supernatural horror to sci-fi terror. Create your very own alien invasion with a crashed UFO. This is a ridiculously fun DIY. Just take 2 of those large plastic bowls or serving platters, glue them together rim to rim, and give them a coat of metallic silver spray paint. You can even add some blinking LED lights. Then, partially bury it in a garden bed as if it just crash-landed. It's a fun, spooky theme that taps into our fascination with the great unknown. The extraterrestrial pods. What comes after the crash? The invasion, of course. Create some creepy extraterrestrial pods. Find some foam footballs or other weird shapes in the craft section and paint them an otherworldly, iridescent color. Partially bury them in your soil as if they are growing. To make it extra gross, mix up some clear glue and green food coloring for some alien slime and have it oozing out of a crack. It's a subtle but deeply creepy theme that suggests the horror is just beginning. 11. Carnival of Souls. The Cursed Ticket Booth. Step right up, folks, to the Carnival of Souls. First, every cursed carnival needs a cursed ticket booth. Build a simple rickety-looking frame from foam boards and then drape it with tattered red and white striped plastic tablecloths. And of course, every ticket booth needs an attendant, so place a full skeleton inside, ready to welcome your guests to a night of terror. It's a fantastic way to corrupt a symbol of fun and turn it into something truly sinister. The Sinister Clown Alley. You knew it was coming. It wouldn't be a carnival of souls without a sinister clown alley. This is where you tap into one of the most common phobias on the planet. Just buy a few of those cheap, creepy clown masks from a Halloween aisle. Mount them on stakes at different heights and have them peeking out from behind bushes or along a dark pathway. That uncanny, frozen smile is a guaranteed scare and is probably the most effective scare per dollar you can get. Cursed Voodoo Swamp. The Shrunken Head Trail. Let's get into some dark magic and folklore with a cursed voodoo swamp theme. First up, the Shrunken Head Trail. This is a wonderfully gruesome DIY. Take some of the foam apples or pears from the craft aisle, paint them a leathery brown, add some black yarn for hair, and use a hot glue gun to create crudely stitched shut eyes and mouths. Hang them from low-hanging tree branches for a truly shocking and terrifying discovery for your guests. The Altar of Skulls. Every voodoo swamp needs a place for powerful rituals, so let's build an altar of skulls. Find a tree stump or create a small crude altar by stacking some flat rocks. Then, arrange a collection of Dollar Tree plastic skulls all over and around it. Weave in some faux moss and place some flickering battery-operated candles among the bones. It instantly transforms a forgotten corner of your yard into a sacred, yet terrifying, space that feels charged with dark energy. Plague of Rats. The Scurrying Swarm. Sometimes the most effective scares come from things that are just plain gross. Case in point, a plague of rats. For the scurrying swarm, buy as many packs of those black plastic rats as you can carry. Then, using hot glue, create a horrifying scene where they look like they are pouring out of a drain pipe, swarming over a woodpile, or streaming across your patio. Rats are a historical symbol of disease and decay, making this an instantly unsettling visual. The King's Feast. To elevate your rat plague into a truly grim masterpiece, create the King's Feast. This is a horrifying tableau that will stick with people. Place a full skeleton sitting at a small table or on a bench. Then cover the skeleton and the table with dozens and dozens of plastic rats, posing them as if they are feasting on the remains. It's a dark, powerful statement about the circle of life and the inevitability of decay. It's gross, it's brilliant, I love it. The Haunting of Blackwood Forest. The Whispering Trees. Let's turn your own backyard trees into sentient, ghostly beings with the Whispering Trees. This is an incredibly simple but high-impact effect. All you do is hang long, thin strips of gray and black creepy cloth from multiple tree branches. When even the slightest breeze blows, they will twist and float like disembodied spirits. It's a quiet, subtle horror that makes your entire yard feel alive and haunted, transforming the very atmosphere of the space. The Eyes of the Woods. There is nothing scarier than the feeling of being watched. Let's literalize that with the eyes of the woods. Print out several pairs of spooky, glowing eyes online. To make them weatherproof, just laminate them or cover them with clear packing tape. Then, tack them to tree trunks or hide them deep within bushes so they are just barely visible, peering out at your guests. It's a simple, paranoid-inducing trick that is wildly effective. The Abandoned Orphanage. The Forgotten Toys. Ready to corrupt some symbols of childhood innocence? Let's create the Abandoned Orphanage, starting with the Forgotten Toys. Find a few old-looking dolls or teddy bears. Use some dark paint to make them look dirty, aged, and neglected. Maybe give one a cracked face or missing eyes. Then, place them on a swing set, in a sandbox, or just sitting alone in a corner. It's a deeply effective horror trope because it hits us right where we live. The Ghostly Playground. To complete the tragic scene, we need the ghostly playground. This is all about creating a sense of sorrowful horror. Wrap the chains of your swing set with tattered creepy cloth. Then place a single lightweight ghost figure, using the foam ball and cloth method we talked about earlier, on one of the swings. Position it just right, and the slightest breeze will make it gently move back and forth. It evokes a powerful story of lonely spirits who can never leave. Dragon's Lair. The Treasure Hoard. Let's switch gears to fantasy horror with a dragon's lair. Every dragon needs its treasure hoard. This is a fun one. Grab a bunch of plastic rocks and pebbles and give them a coat of shimmering gold and silver spray paint. Mix in some plastic gems and those gaudy bead necklaces from the party aisle. Pile it all up in a corner and top it with a big skull. It speaks to those classic themes of greed and the terrifying beasts that guard such wealth. The Dragon's Hatchery. Before there was a dragon, there was an egg. Let's create the Dragon's Hatchery. Find some large plastic eggs or foam ovals from the craft section and paint them a dark, scaly color. Now for the drama. Crack one of them open and have a small plastic lizard or snake peeking out. To really sell it, hide a small red light inside the crack so it glows from within. It's a fantastic piece of storytelling that hints at a much bigger monster to come. "17. Phantom Pirate Cove. The Sunken Treasure. Ahoy, mateys! Welcome to the Phantom Pirate Cove. First, we need the sunken treasure. Get a plastic chest or crate and fill it to the brim with gold coin necklaces, bead strands, and of course, a few skulls for good measure. Partially bury it in a sandbox or a mulch bed as if a storm just unearthed it. It's a fantastic visual that tells a story of cursed treasure and the ghosts who are still bound to protect it. The Ghostly Crew. Every treasure needs its cursed crew. Let's assemble the Ghostly Crew. Dress up a few full skeletons in some simple pirate accessories, a bandana cut from red cloth, a simple eye patch. You can prop them up against a fence or have them sitting around a campfire, made from orange string lights hidden under a pile of sticks. It brings those classic legends of ghost ships and their damned crews right into your backyard. "18. The Underworld's Gate. Karen's Fairy Dock. Let's get mythological with the Underworld's Gate. This theme is somber, creepy, and very atmospheric. First, we create Karen's Fairy Dock. If you have a pond, you're golden. If not, you can create the illusion of the river Styx with some black fabric. Build a small rickety-looking dock from painted foam boards. At the very end, place a single lantern with a flickering tea light inside. It's a chilling, powerful symbol of the final journey. Cerberus's Watch. And who guards the gate to the underworld? Cerberus, of course. And this is our budget-friendly version, Cerberus's Watch. Get 3 of those plastic dog skulls or skeletons. Position them together at the entrance to a pathway, as if they are one terrifying 3-headed beast. You can uplight them with a red light from behind to make them look even more demonic. It's a fantastic way to bring a terrifying mythological figure to life. "19. Giant Monster Attack. The Tentacle Terror. Time to go big, my friends. Let's stage a giant monster attack, starting with the Tentacle Terror. This is, hands down, one of the most creative pool noodle hacks you will ever see. Take a green or purple pool noodle, carefully use a heat gun to make it bendy, and shape it into a writhing tentacle. For suction cups, just glue on some bottle caps. Have it emerging from behind your shed or bushes. It's pure Lovecraftian horror that suggests a monster too big to be seen. The colossal footprint. Sometimes the most terrifying monster is the one you don't see. That's the genius of the colossal footprint. In an open area of your lawn, create the outline of a massive three-toed monster footprint. You can do this by pressing the grass down with a custom-cut piece of cardboard, or by outlining it with dark soil. It's a stunningly simple and minimalist idea that lets your guests' imaginations do all the terrifying work. The harvest of horrors. The rotten pumpkin patch. Finally, let's corrupt the most cherished symbol of autumn with the rotten pumpkin patch. We are taking those cute little foam craft pumpkins and giving them a seriously sinister makeover. Instead of happy faces, carve screaming, melting, or agonized expressions. Then, use brown and black paint to create a disgustingly realistic rotten and decaying effect. For a truly foul finishing touch, have some plastic rats or snakes crawling out of their mouths. It's a fantastic twist on a classic. The cornfield stalkers. And for our final trick, we have the cornfield stalkers. You don't even need a cornfield for this. Just grab some dried grass or corn stalks from the craft section and create a few dense rows along a walkway. The key is what's hiding inside. Place a single masked figure or a skeleton just peeking out from between the stalks. It plays on that classic horror movie trope of being watched and hunted, and it will absolutely terrify anyone who walks past. And there you have it. 20 genius themes and over 40 incredible concepts to make your home the undisputed champion of Halloween. From creepy crawlies to cosmic horrors, we've proven that all you need is a trip to Dollar Tree and a little imagination. Now, as I promised, I'm not going to leave you hanging. Let's break down exactly what you'll need and how to forge these incredible nightmares with your own two hands. Materials and products. First up, let's go on a shopping spree for what I like to call our terrifying treasures, and our one-stop shop is Dollar Tree. Your number one priority is foam board. It's the unsung hero that will become your ancient tombstones and crypt walls. Next, load up on the creatures. Grab every plastic skeleton, skull, spider, and rat you can find. We're building an army after all. For atmosphere, you can never have enough creepy cloth and spider webbing. This stuff is like instant haunting in a bag. For assembly, you'll need a mountain of hot glue sticks, a pack of zip ties, and some clear fishing line for all our floating effects. And finally, for that professional finish, grab craft paints in black, white, gray, and brown. They're the key to faking centuries of decay. equipment and tools. Now, let's talk about your ghost-busting toolkit. And don't you worry, you will not need to raid a movie studio's prop department for this. Your most valuable weapon will be a trusty hot glue gun. This is the magic wand of Halloween DIY that will bind our unholy creations together. You'll also need a sharp utility knife or a box cutter for carving your nightmares into reality. It's perfect for shaping the foam boards. A good pair of scissors for fabrics and some sturdy wire cutters for zip ties and hangers are also essential. And of course, a basic set of paintbrushes will be your instruments for adding decades of dirt and grime in just a few minutes. See? Simple, everyday tools for extraordinary results. Preparation steps. Okay, you've got your supplies, you've got your tools. Now for the master plan. Here is the secret 5-step process to turning that pile of plastic into pure Halloween magic, all in one go. First, think like a movie director and create your blueprint. Map out your scenes before you start, and give all your shiny plastic a light coat of primer so the paint actually sticks. Then comes the fun part, assembly. Use your hot glue gun to build your structures and zip ties to pose skeletons in creepy positions. Next up is the most important part for that high-end look, the art of weathering. Use a nearly dry brush to add highlights and watered-down dark paint to create shadows and grime. This is what makes everything look ancient. After that, it's all about detailing. Add the blood spatter, the creepy moss, and the plastic chains to really sell the story. And finally, the step that brings it all to life, strategic lighting. Use solar stakes to uplight your creations, cast terrifying shadows, and transform your yard into a truly bone-chilling experience, because at night, lighting is everything. If you're looking for one massive statement piece, the Weaver's Web is your answer. Forget the chaotic look. This is about architectural horror. We're creating one gigantic, beautifully symmetrical web using simple twine or yarn, anchored to a central point. In the middle, you place your queen, a giant spider you've crafted by combining a few smaller ones. Add some disgusting-looking egg sacs made from foam balls and webbing, and you have a terrifying masterpiece that looks way more expensive than it is.